Fred De Los Santos. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bart.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to have you here. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Merry Christmas to you
too.
We were talking before the show. It's a busy time for the Sheriff's Department, unfortunately.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, it is.
Hopefully it'll be safe for everyone in the department and everyone in our community.
Amen to that.
And you guys are teaming up to make, I think that much more sure thing for people who do have special needs. Tell us about what you guys are launching together today.
Okay. So I got some information from the Monroe County Sheriff about this, Troy Goodenough. And so what I did is I got a hold of LifeWays and I got a hold of our dispatch center and I said, I think this is something we need to implement right away. And they jumped right in. It wasn't, how are we going to do this? Is what can I do? And they jumped right in and we went after it. And essentially what this program is it allows loved ones, family members of folks who may be suffering from a mental illness, or maybe they have some sort of medical condition that causes them to need assistance that they wouldn't be able to verbalize, or in an emergency situation we would need to know up front. So it takes the guesswork out of it for us. They're able to fill out a form online, and then dispatch will enter that information into our computer automated dispatch system, so that when we call 911 or a person calls 911 and alerts us to a particular incident that's happening at an address or with a particular person, the police officer will then get front loaded with all of that information ahead of time, so that when they respond to the scene, they know how to handle that citizen with the utmost of care. And it'll speed things along and make them safer all the way around. It's safer for the police as well.
Fred, this could be just great news for people with these special needs. And I would imagine that there are people that may be afraid to call for help because of their situation.
Oh, absolutely. I've been with LifeWays for a while now, and that's been a conversation I've had many a times working with families, talking about what's going on in the home and the fear, the apprehension with calling 911 and having police show up. So this was a no-brainer. The sheriff reached out and he told us about this program. So it's one of those, it was a program that sells itself. It's something that we could put in place that gives family members, loved ones, the assurance that, hey, we're here, we care about you, and we're putting this program so that we know what's going on firsthand and we can approach a situation differently.
Well, we've heard about incidents all over the country where someone needs help and it turns out that they need special consideration and people get injured and worse.
Right. And it can also be something as simple as, I don't mean to downgrade anything, but it can be something as simple as a diabetic reaction, a diabetic emergency, that when you're a police officer and you're evaluating the situation, it's very dynamic, it's unfolding quickly in front of you. And you may interpret that as a person who is intoxicated. And you may look at things completely differently if you're front-loaded with the information, hey, this is a person who has diabetes.
All right, let's take an example. You're out on patrol and you pull someone over and they've been driving erratically, and maybe it's not because they've been drinking, it's because of I guess a medical situation. How do you know you're pulling a car over, you're not getting a dispatch report? How do you know that someone in that car has an issue? Right,
you don't. And so right now, or excuse me, the way it was before, right? The way it was before is you had to evaluate that situation rapidly as it was unfolding to make a determination. Do I call medical? Is this a person that is acting this way because there's some other incident going on and I need to take them into custody? What is actually going on? And you can see some of horrible examples throughout the country where police officers have gotten it wrong and unfortunately have arrested people who are in medical distress. And that's gone in a completely different direction. So we're trying to prevent that. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to prevent that.
Fred, there's probably many situations, health situations that it's not visible or readily apparent to someone that they are dealing with a particular issue. What are some of these things that police or families are going to be able to now let police know in advance?
I think some of the things that they're going to be able to let officers know in advance is when their loved one's nonverbal, right? So maybe they have a loved one that is on the spectrum. So the officers responding to the scene or pulling them over will be able to understand that, okay, this person's not refusing to talk to me. This person's not refusing to comply with me. Right. This person's nonverbal and they don't have the capacity to speak with me. So that's one of the things. And if we think about mental health, it's not a visible thing, right? So there's going to be things that they'll be able to report where not only are they nonverbal, maybe they also have a seizure disorder. So there's things that they have firsthand knowledge from it, and then they'll be able to identify it right there on the scene. So
PTSD, would that be a situation that someone would want to get enrolled? Absolutely.
PTSD, there's so many things that could trigger a person and cause them to act erratically. So yes, absolutely PTSD would be one of those.
And I would imagine people that are deaf, people that are sightless, you would like to know that.
Yes, how important that is if someone cannot hear and we're giving them orders in a dynamic situation. And we interpret that as refusal when in actuality they just simply can't hear us. That is incredibly important to have that information front-loaded for the officers as they're arriving on the scene, and deputies and troopers, I should say. This is something it's really important to understand. This is something that everybody in the county will benefit from. So it's not just Jackson County Sheriff's Office, it's the Michigan State Police, it's the Jackson Police Department, it's all the township police departments, it's all the township fire departments. Everyone will be provided this information through computer automated dispatch.
This is easy to get enrolled in. We have a QR code here, and then there's a process. They end up getting approved, and then you mail them decals for their car or their house?
Yes. And go ahead, Fred, I'm sorry.
No, I was exactly right. You know, once they get signed up and put, it's like immediately they're put into the system, and then we'll send them a decal, which we see on the top of that page there. It says Jackson County Safe Program, and it'll get mailed to their home. And we even have some at LifeWays, so an individual could come into the center and we could provide one there. And I know there's some at the sheriff's office as well, so they could go down there as well and pick up a decal.
Have you guys been in situations or known of situations that before the SAFE program where it's caused issues, maybe some delay in getting treatment or service for someone, or a misunderstanding that might have been serious for someone to be injured or worse?
Well, yes. For instance, you know, the first example that I gave you about misinterpreting someone who is going through a diabetic emergency and believing that they're intoxicated, that's happened a number of times. So that's really important, and those folks need medical intervention quickly and not be arrested.
Well, I've got to believe this is great news for everyone in this community, but in particular for all those who receive services from LifeWays providers. This is going to be a real blessing.
It is, because they don't have to explain themselves as much, right? They've taken the initiative, they put the information, provide it to the officers. So now when they have an encounter with the police officer, they know a little bit of the backstory, so they have a little bit of the picture going into a situation. So,
and great for first responders.
Absolutely, it'll help keep us safe too.
Great to hear about. Thank you for coming in today, and everyone that knows someone that could benefit from this, share the word. And it's all available through both Sheriff's Department and LifeWays. More information.
Correct.
Yes, you can also access it on the Sheriff app that we have as well.
Good point. Good to see you both. Thanks for coming in.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Safe and Merry Christmas to both of you.
Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Our Sheriff, Gary Schutte, and from LifeWays, Counselor Fred De Los Santos.